A$AP Rocky's legal battle is unfolding, and it is far from fashion killer vibes, okay? He's facing 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. And the spotlight is burning brighter than ever, especially when it comes to his jury makeup. But honestly, it don't seem like A$AP's attorney is really tripping because, according to him, the people's case is weak at best, so they're going to go ahead and take it to trial. So let me break this down for you. I'm Legally Hype, and this is TSR Newz. Rapper and fashion icon A$AP Rocky, whose real name is Rakeem Myers, has been charged with 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. The alleged victim in this case is A$AP Rocky's former friend, AP Relli, whose real name is Terrell Efron. Now, if convicted, A$AP Rocky could face up to 20 years in a California prison. So now prosecutors are claiming that on November 6, 2021, Relli and Rocky had got into it one night out in Hollywood over Rocky allegedly refusing to help pay for the funeral costs of another member of the A$AP mob music group named A$AP Josh. So then that argument ended, another one started, at which time Rocky allegedly pulled out a semi-automatic handgun and fired twice in the direction of the victim. So now, according to Efron, the bullets grazed his knuckles, and that's where the assault part comes from. Okay, I'm not the attorney on this case, but you know what? Maybe you went like this. That's possible. We're gonna let it play out in trial. Now, I think it's also crucial to note that later on, Efron did acknowledge that, in fact, Rocky did end up help paying for the funeral arrangements. But I'm gonna just stick to the trial. So, according to court filings, nearly a dozen Los Angeles County police officers responded to the scene of the alleged shooting that night, but they didn't find any evidence of a crime. And so the story goes that for whatever reason, Efron returned to the scene of the crime later, at which time he discovered 2 shell casings. So now there is a video that seems to show someone resembling A$AP Rocky holding a handgun. However, reports indicate that the footage is unclear because it doesn't definitively show who the person is or the actual shooting itself. Rocky's attorney stated that there is no forensic evidence linking him to the shooting, nor are there any eyewitnesses. And he also argues that the prosecution's case is weak, okay? Which probably explains why A$AP Rocky recently declined a pretty sweet plea deal offered by the prosecutors. Right before the start of jury selection, prosecutors offered A$AP Rocky a deal that would require him to spend 180 days in jail. Honestly, if that, because when you think about good time and if they even got space for him, whatever. 3 years of probation and a 7-year suspended sentence. But Rocky said, nah, I'm good. We finna take this to trial. I ain't gonna hold you. You gotta be real confident in your case to turn down 180 days in jail, knowing that you facing 24 years in prison. Now, up until recently, Team Rocky has been quite cocky, okay? But when they started picking that jury, it was a completely different story. So after jury selection went down, Rocky's team was like, hold up. It's not enough black people on this jury. In fact, Rocky's team filed a motion to ask the judge to have a hearing about the jury pool, and the judge was like, no, you get what you got. So now the defense does plan to appeal this decision, but the judge is completely unbothered, okay? He kind of like, you know what, baby, do whatever you need to do, but until then, we're going to carry on with jury selection, and we're going to use the people we have in this pool here. So now the reason the defense believes the jury pool is an issue is because, according to their metrics, the geographic area where the jurors were pulled from is 9% black. However, less than 5% of the jurors who were summoned to show up to the court are black. This means that it is entirely possible that none of the jurors on this case will be black. Now, this could be harmful for the defense because people who are in the culture already know. While everybody and their mama seemingly loves the culture, they don't always understand the culture or respect the nuances of the culture. And the last thing you want when you face it up to 24 years in prison is a bunch of people who do not speak your language interpreting what you have going on. Now, even the Reverend Al Sharpton didn't weigh in on this, okay? Raising concerns about the potential jury makeup for this trial. He called it ridiculous that the jury wouldn't fairly represent A$AP Rocky's peers. Now, on the flip side, some people couldn't help but point out the irony of Al Sharpton speaking up for Rocky about the jury not being of his peers. And they brought up Rocky's 2015 comments where he said in the interview that he wasn't really finna speak on black issues because he wasn't Al Sharpton. So now this all ties back to a 2015 interview Rocky did with Time Out New York. In it, he was questioned about why he wasn't rapping about issues that were happening in places like Ferguson at the time. And so Rocky has since clarified those comments, explaining that he didn't know firsthand what was happening in Ferguson and places like that, and so he didn't feel like it would be genuine for him to rap about those issues just because he's black. He emphasized that addressing those topics wasn't really in his lane, and he wasn't gonna step into it, okay, period. That's just what it was. Nonetheless, the juries have been seated in this case, and opening statements for this trial are set to begin. So now, Rocky previously waived his right to be present at the trial, but for now, it looks like he will in fact be present for his trial, and I think that is a really good idea, and the jury is going to be looking at your every single move, so go on and sit pretty, my boy.